Enjoyers of the Grignr dynasty, welcome back to Crusader Kings 3 Elder Kings to Grignr, where we are playing as, shockingly, Grignr IV, Grignarson of the Grignr fleet. One of, in my opinion, the most interesting Grignarsons that we've had for a while, because of course we got the ability to play as him from the age of tiny wee baby, given that everybody else died. He had a pretty turbulent upbringing. His guardian was psychologically damaging, destroying his favorite toy, killing his imaginary friend. He was bullied by his sister. He was bullied by the girl he had a crush on, which has led to a very complicated relationship. The girl that he wanted to marry got remarried twice, and then throughout all of this hardship, he ended up becoming an elusive shadow. The strangest of Grigners. He still kills, but he kills silently, not as all the other Grigners have, of course, which is on the battlefield, or on the same bloody battlefield. He's also honest, which makes him a very hard character to play. He is fickle, and he is vengeful. Now, I'm recording slightly ahead of schedule, because I've got lots to do in real life, and again, as I talked about at the end of the last episode, for whatever reason, YouTube currently is taking like 5 hours to process each episode, so I'm pretty much doing this one right off the bat of the last one, but I've got loads of comments still to go over from the episode before, so we're all good on that front. Lots of people are saying, first things first, check your titles specifically to see if the election law is on there, but it's not. I don't know why, but we've stopped being elective very suddenly. We were briefly, but now we're not. Because when this guy came of age, we should have got notification to elect successor, right? There's nothing here. We are pirate share law. Under pirate share, each county will decide if they follow your heir or if they want to go their own course. Your capital county will always be given to your heir, but what determines our heir? That's what I don't understand. Yeah, so duchy title, it doesn't have anything on it. The magistracy of Grignr's Folly, which is our normal capital title, the other one is titular, is again pirate share law. So we've got two duchies, which could be a little bit complicated, but one's the fleet, one's the physical land, right? The duchy of the land, and then we've got the captaincy of Grignr City. Again, line of succession, I'm not entirely sure what's determining this. It's just equal. I guess it's primogeniture? Like equal primogeniture in that when this guy has a kid, that kid, regardless whether they're male or female, will automatically become our character's current heir. And then if that kid dies, it'll go to the next oldest child and blah, 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 blah. I presume so. I honestly don't know because CK3's interface is quite nebulous in that regard. In CK2, it was just right there on the screen, but it seems to be kind of all over the place in this game a little bit. Yeah, no, I have no idea where we would find it other than that. So I can only presume that maybe we're not actually elective after all. How strange. Well, I'm not super against that. Again, there you go. You can see designated heir none, change. You don't have any child that could be designated as your heir. We don't have absolute crown authority. I guess that is it, right? Maybe we're allowed to designate a... Oh, maybe we are allowed to designate an heir. Maybe we can only designate our children, which is why when we were playing as the last character before he died and we ended up playing as Grignr IV here, we couldn't elect any because he didn't have any children. He only had grandchildren. Maybe that's why. And because this character doesn't currently have any children, maybe that's the same situation. I don't know. I'm just kind of, working backwards from things a little bit here. So, with regards to education, then, of course, that was a hot button topic last episode. People were saying that the education is a lot more complicated this time around. Learning is taken massively into it, and clearly that must ring true somewhat, given that I based it entirely on our Guardian's learning stat, and, we came out with level 4 Elusive Shadow, so maybe there is a lot more steam to that than there was in CK2 at least, but it's based on a whole combination of things. Let me just pull up the comment here. They said specifically that it's things like genetic intelligence, so dull, stupid, slow, malice is quick, intelligent, genius being pluses, same as CK2. Acquired intelligence, so shrewd is positive. Oh, I forget what the opposite is. Yeah, I don't know. But that's, again, the same as CK2. Raw relevant stats. So, if the war has a martial education, you get a high martial character that have a better outcome. So, I guess the education no longer plays into it. To be fair, with CK2 Conclave DLC, that stopped being mostly true with that as well. It was kind of raw relevant stat and again all this other stuff. In CK2 again, patient, diligent played into it, but I guess not in this one, right? Apparently there's a big breakdown on the wiki, so I'll have a read through that in my spare time whenever I get some and have a look through a little bit more in detail. But yeah, no, a relevant stat, raw relevant stat, and their learning skill. Half of their learning skill also goes into it. So the example this person gave in the comments is say, for example, you get a natural-born steward with Midas-touched education. They are worse guardian than a misguided warrior with 2 more stewardship and some random learning. So it's a bit unfortunate that education doesn't play any into it whatsoever, but actually kind of worked out really well because I didn't have a choice in that matter. Anyway, sorry to waste the first 5 minutes just kind of catching things up there. So he ended up marrying after a long time of me searching through the character menu, just desperate to find anybody. There was no one we could possibly bring to court, because unfortunately we are a hostile, isolated, small religion, the only religion, the people that practice this religion in the world. He ended up marrying his childhood crush. Now, they've had a very complicated relationship, right? They're very neutral with one another right now, but she was his childhood crush. She bullied him a little bit. He beat her up. It's a bit of a mess. Again, this is when they were children, so it's not quite as insidious as if adults were to do that anyway. But yeah, no, they just probably got into a scuffle as kids. But she was rude to him, but they had a crush on her. So it was all sorts of weird childhood emotions that obviously were probably running high at the time. What was that? View kills. Oh, right, yes. He did get his vengeance, because he is vengeful, of course, on his sister that bullied him, and then he murdered the husband of the woman that he wanted to marry, but unfortunately she moved on and married someone else, so he's forgotten about her, went for his other childhood crush. I think they're going to have an interesting relationship. Honestly, I would kind of like him to try and romance her. He's honest, and I think he would be honest and you know, admit that as a child he had strong feelings for her. And clearly there were strong feelings mutually. I think let's go for the romance scheme. You know what? I like this idea. It's not particularly character breaking. It hasn't got a particular massive drive to do it, but she was a childhood crush, so maybe there is something there. It's 65%, so why don't we just see how it ends up, right? And if it doesn't happen, then clearly it was never meant to happen, as far as I'm concerned. It is time to let my feelings towards Governess Unault be known. I want us to remember this day for the rest of our life. You can sing her a love ballad. Secretly plant a letter in a chamber seems far more on brand for him. He could win a sparring match, which again is very Grignr. Go with the gut in the moment. Ooh, do we go for his athletic side, his strength, and his athleticism and his prowess, or do we go for intrigue? I could see an argument for any of them. I think we'll secretly plant a letter in her chambers. My declaration of love is for her eyes only. No one else matters. I pour my heart out page after page. My feelings grow as I finally put them into words. The ink has barely dried as I set out for Unault's chambers. I gently placed the scroll on her bolster. Will she lay here tonight dreaming of me? The waiting is unbearable. The thoughts of rejection make me sick to my stomach. When her reply arrives, I tear the seal with shaking hands. Well, I cannot encourage you, Governor Grignr. I am most grateful for your kind words. Ah. I think that's a neutral response. And you know what? Maybe that's what we need right now. What if he, like, sends her a gift? If he sends her a gift? It's 50 gold. I feel like he's very socially incompetent. Because, again, he had a very difficult upbringing, a very difficult child, and they've had a difficult, complicated relationship. So I feel like him just throwing her some cash is probably like a very misguided way to try and win her over. The spies have informed me that a hunter causing a ruckus at the local tavern has been spending large amounts of gold, bragging loudly about a great deal she's struck with a fancy lady in pearls and silk. Somebody is trying to draw a map of the tundra for a local noblewoman. Put her in the dungeon. He's vengeful. He wouldn't just let that happen. He's also a schemer, so he knows what the implication of this is. Oh, Meowberry and his pet cat bought him 2 gold. Thank you, kind sir.
Please, just one more coin and I can buy a pair of shoes.
Thank you. How kind. Thank you for that, Meowberry. Oh, we're up to 20 intrigue. Excellent. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually pretty impressed by that. Oh, that gives a diplomacy range bonus, which is kind of fun. That's one of the more recent mods I've added in by the same person who made the Grignr Legacy mod. Oh, I was also given some advice about that. They said to look around the world, because there may be things related to Grignr out there, scattered around, artifacts, treasures to be found, basically. Not like other Grigners hanging out. That'd be a bit weird. But yeah, no, we'll keep an eye out for that. We must stop the villain behind this. Someone is trying to kill Grignr Guild and Axe's daughter, your aunt and buccaneer. How unfortunate. Now, that actually reminds me, her son needs to be married off. Your cousin, first mate, and court mage. That's kind of fun that we have a first mate, given that we're, again, raiders, pirates. Unfortunately, again, it's very slim pickings for marriage fodder in this domain. Should marry him off to someone that... Marry him off to the court priest? That seems kind of nice. That seems an okay marriage. There you go. She's very skilled. She has sway in the realm. And she deserves a good husband. And he deserves a good... I think he deserves a good wife. Anyway, we can crank up the taxes again, because we're up to 45 popular opinion now. Mainly because we got the conversion and everything else, but that will eventually wear off. It's be at -20 when it's neutral. We've got to be careful about that, I suppose. Let's not go too crazy with the taxes. A new intrigue tournament. A new intrigue perk. Thank you for that. Totally distracted me. Do you think he would go with Lover's Kiss? Seduce scheme power by 30%. Oh, he's not seducing, though. He's trying to get a soulmate. Debellin Art gives 30% fertility. Might not hurt, given that the dynasty is dying, and he's going to be aware of that. His whole family's going to be whispering about it. Grignr after Grignr are dropping like flies, and they have a responsibility now to keep the dream alive for original Grignr. Simultaneously, we can't do murder, because as I found out yesterday, he's not a murderer. I mean, he can murder, but because he's honest, he sees it as underhanded. He's a very shit intrigue character, I'll be honest with you. Digging for dirt. Find secrets, progress speed up by 25%. Would he be alright using leverage on people? Because if he is an honest character, I feel like using their secrets against them is kind of on brand for him. I don't know. I just don't know how to play this guy. He's such an enigma. Obviously, we'll catch things up with him and we'll figure him out as we play. Court Shadow Disrupt scheme effectiveness up by 50%. Ah, they're all a bit crap. I guess we'll go find secrets. He wants the honesty. He clearly values honesty quite a lot. Let's put it out there then. The sun is shining and peasants are milling about the tourney hosted by my wife. All my buccaneers cheer as Governess Unal announces the tournament in their honor. And for once, I simply get to sit and watch. I'm not going to spend an entire tourney day stuck to the throne, however. I too cheer my buccaneers, or this day is ours, my dear. Yeah, cheer for the buccaneers. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? Man, they've got such a weird... She was the peasant leader, wasn't she? Yeah. Such a weird relationship. She was I think 8 years old when they met, and he fell in love with her as a child, and then for whatever reason, she was a peasant leader back then, too. That isn't something she... she became when she was older, being raided. No, we're not, though. That's Winterhold. I really wish that wouldn't pop up unless it was your own domain, because why would I care if my liege is being raided? I guess it's just like, hey, keep an eye out. There are raiders hanging around, you know? Train commanders. I don't really give a shit about the levy size. Garrison levy reinforcement rate. Yeah, I mean, it does drop army maintenance, but... I don't know, 24%. I don't think we worry about it. We have been overwhelmed by stress again. It's his strength training that's causing that. He's getting kind of unlucky with it. He hasn't really gained any strength at all. We are going to have to stop soon, though, because the poor guy's going to lash out. Lash out at the courtiers. Scream at them because he's under so much pressure and stress. Speaking of which, let's work some off. There we go. Just got to try and poor Meowbarian. Oh my god, if we lost him, we would be in a lot of trouble. Let's mark these as do whenever we can, right? I just feel so sorry for the guy. And the Feast as well. Yeah, Feast and Hunts. I guess we'll mark that as special interest. He's just under a lot of pressure. And he's not doing so well in terms of, just in terms of the, actual training. I feel like it's been a total waste of time. Anyway, as my beloved and I walk through the Grignr Hall gardens, I gesture at the greenery around us. For all their beauty, there isn't a single flower which rivals your own, my lady. There is one, she says with a mysterious smile, a rare orchid from the Rim. Oh, for fuck's sake. And I'm not going back there. I spend all my time there. 95% chance that he is going to go into an abandoned shrine garden in Grignr Hall. Ooh, yeah, do that. She gains special gift and we get 150 prestige. Of course he were to find it. She's got to go into some old shrine to get a flower. That's it. That's an easy task for a member of House Grignr. Even though this guy isn't necessarily the... I was going to say the combat man that he could be, but he kind of is. He's got 24 prowess after all, and House of Warriors too. He could take part in a few raids. He doesn't have to shy away from it so much. Anyway, let's get our winter specialist. Freskilled Cormstole. Freskilled Coldstorm. Not what did I say? Cormstoled? It's very late at night. I'm losing my damn mind, apparently. So, I wanted to go raiding pretty quickly, right? Because the plan was we're making 4.7 gold per month. We've converted the people over. The people love him. But right now, our big problem is our troops are only decent quality because we're using bowmen, berserkers, and light footmen. We could swap those out to housecarls. Now, the big downside to housecarls, as you remember, were their upkeep cost. We just simply couldn't afford them. Oh, we should put Unal on... What's your managing domain? Yeah, I guess we could leave her on that. Yeah, that's fine. The problem was we couldn't afford to keep the upkeep on those troops because they were so bloody expensive. But now we've got so much more monthly income. I think we can make it happen. I think it'll work quite well. Hey, we just got to there before they did. That's quite nice. These are all kind of safe raiding routes as well, don't forget. Let's put you in charge because you are a Reaver. Then if they send troops after us... Oh, raised by stress again. Getting the trait strengthened. Ooh. Oh, that's the first tier. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I forgot you had to go strong, then strengthened. I don't know why I thought it upgraded after that. Oh, amazing. Let's host a feast then. Drop some of that stress. He could learn Dova Zul. He is honest. I mean, let's see if there is any religious aspect to his character. Bear in mind, as a child, he heard the whispers of Molag Bal, which is still secretly going on in the background, but we haven't had anything about that, so I haven't been trying to push it. Maybe he just says a quiet prayer to Molag Bal every night, like, please help me kill my enemies or whatever. No longer overwhelmed by stress. Very nice. The guests are gathered in the hall. Lords and ladies from near and far reaches of the realm are waiting with anticipation for the feast to start. A cry then proclaims, by decree of your most majestic majesties, from the depths of their magnificent magnanimity, today begins a rule of foolishness and frivolities, abolished are concerns of toil, tax, and responsibility, for 'tis the season of winsome glee. Thank you, the Festival of Fools. And I'm the main star. It's a jester. Come look at this jester. We got beautiful illusion dazzles, popular opinion plus 20. You know what? Fine. Fine, let's do it. I'm alright with that. We're about to bring back loads of gold. We need to try and keep the, popular opinion high, because like I said, a lot of that stuff's going to wear off very soon, and then we're going to be in a lot of trouble. Ooh. A war cry. Starts a war against Ashkan Oriel for the county conquest. I don't think we want to go out there and attack into the Ashlands. And Atmore and Vardenfell, though, would be cool. That would be so weird. Because their original homeland was covered in snow, now they go to a homeland covered in ash. That would be very bizarre, but kind of fun. Person have 40 learning. Peace is also one of the Atmoran staples. I'm sorry, we're just gonna... I'm gonna say no. I don't think we're prepared for it. I want to build up the foundation of this realm a bit more before we do that. The feast is... Oh, shit, we just got 90 gold. You see that from our steward? I just missed it without thinking. That's amazing. The feast is dwindling down, and I find myself in deep conversation with my honourable wife, Governess Donald. She inquires about my opinion on troop composition. Oh, she becomes our friend if we do this. It's gonna stress him out, but maybe he does it for the good of love. I could not care less. I'm more interested in you. Oh, he is. He doesn't care about that. So let's play the character. He wouldn't do that because he's honest. He doesn't care about it. He's interested in her. Very nice. That's something. With everyone headed for their respective homes, I'm proud to say the feast was a success. I have my wife Unalt to thank for the success, and I feel nothing but gratitude as the last few guests are sent off. Very nice. Meow Bearin, keeping on top of the rats. God, that cat's got to be old by now, right? I suppose he got it when he was, what, like 10? It was one of the later childhood events. It was after the doll was smashed and his sister bullied him because the cat was his only friend. So I suppose it's probably still got a little more life in it, yep. Poetic license. Carrying on with the romance. Very nice. How's that going then? Success chance 100%. Oh my god, he's actually done it. There is no woman lovelier than Governess Analt. In her presence, my word often fail me. None of my compliments even do her justice. Perhaps a carefully crafted poem would better capture her virtues. Write about her kind and feeling heart, her fearlessness, that's hard to say, or assertive presence. She's stubborn, content, and honest. I guess assertive presence? Honest and stubborn seems like that would be a recipe for assertiveness. Let's do it then. To the modest Governor Grignr, your valor is the rock I cling to. Oh, in the stormy seas. I would be blessed if I could hear your voice again now that I know the touch of the divine. Please, be the kind to my shore. Oh, she must have liked my poem. We've charmed her. Oh my god, maybe it was meant to be. Is he finally going to get some happiness in life? That makes me... Oh, and she's permanent. Clearly that poem worked a little bit too well. She was clinging to his rock. My wife, Governess Unalt, is bearing my child. I cannot wait to hold the babe in my arms. Finally. Something good for my guy. I just want him to come out with something here. Well, I mean, apparently he already has. But I mean, like, come out with some victory. I want him to have some nicety in his life. If you defeat these troops, I will scream and piss, because that's 162 gold. We've got it. We've got it. We're okay. We lost a buccaneer. A brave buccaneer. But you know what? These things just happen, don't they? Knight became a blade master. Oh, cool. Commander significantly improved. Oh, sweet. Again, I think that's what we've got to do, right? We've got to play tall. We've got to play tall troops. Strong knights and a strong man-at-arms. Well, of course, we can't get many man-at-arms, which is why we've got to get the best possible. My courtmaster comes to me with grave news. While we do not know yet who, someone is plotting to kill my courtier, Talok. That's terrible. You've unlocked a new perk for the intrigue lifestyle. Let's have a look. He's honest. He's honest. He's terrible. I feel like Torturer, so that he can uncover the truth, might be a really fun way to take his character. He values honesty, but he's also underhanded, scheming. Not dishonest about it, but he's a schemer. He's an intrigue master. So I do feel like, bizarrely, Torturer, out of all of them, might work the best. He's almost like an inquisitor, in a way. And I think that's a great way to look at this guy. I think it's starting to figure things out in my brain a little bit here. Dark insights. Because I would never normally go for Torturer, because it just seems so pointless. You got to have people in your dungeon, which of course we can get from raiding, but I mean, what really ultimately can you get from it too much? Maybe I'm sleeping on it, but this is a nice way to give that a go, to test that out. Yeah, I feel like that's exactly what this guy is. Vengeful, fickle, and honest. Maybe he is a bit of an inquisitor type. He's not massively religious. Honest is at least virtuous to dragon cultists. But then he's got that whole Molag Bal thread that I'm not really sure is doing anything for us. But let's see what happens. It's just a secret, right? As a kid, he worshipped Molag Bal. If it's had no impact since then, I think it's fair to say it's got no impact at all, right? Anyway, let's pet your damn cat. Because all it is right now is just a secret on a page. It's not actively doing anything. It's not changing him. It doesn't give us anything we can even do as him. It's not like secret religions in CK2, where you could start a whole underground society and then overthrow a country through a secret religion of the seeds that you planted over the course of many generations. No. None of that here. This is CK3. You don't get fun. I'm joking. I do enjoy CK3. It's just a different type of experience, I think. It's not quite at the same level. So I sent these guys off to die, but they're still alive. I'm just going to get rid of them. And we're going to swap them out. Because, I mean, look. Oh, we got Sea Raiders. What the hell are those, though? Hello. Oh, they get negatives in winter. Well, that's no bloody use, is it? Dragon Priests. Amazing, obviously. But I think we're going to go Housecarls. Again, hyper expensive on the upkeep costs. 2.21 just for 2 bands. Bollocks. Look at that. That's almost flung us right back into debt again. Whew. Let's see how we look when they're fully reinforced. I'm attending a dance in Grignr Hall to spend some time with Governess Unaltz. The mere thought of touching hands makes my heart jump. Brother, I got some real questions for you, given that she's pregnant. When I arrive, I find her in conversation with my liege, Queen Evette. The loathsome woman drones on and on, totally oblivious to Unalt's discomfort. A little distraction seems appropriate. Now we're honest. Enough, you're boring the lady to death. Yes, he's honest, and he's going to be kind. I like that a lot. Ooh, we've uncovered war magic. Oh, that doesn't seem very good. I forgot that we're the cultural heads. We actually have bloody control over that now, right? Let's see what we can do. So what have we got then? We've got Children of the Sky, can recruit Housecarls, can appoint the Royal Housecarl, can enact moot succession. Commander traits, personality traits have extra winter bonuses. Can get a decision to recruit winter commanders. Certain traits such as brave, gregarious, generous, or blade master give popular opinion. We can sail on major rivers. Gotcha. Skaldic traditions is all about poetry. Fair enough. Stand and fight. Stand your ground. We take more fatal casualties, better defensive bonuses. Fair enough. Martial admiration. Yeah, martial traits are more focused, and there's a chance you can get all those different champion traits and blah, blah, blah. State ransoming. Knights in battle die less but are captured more. I strongly disagree. But your monthly income at war is minus 25%. Oh, Christ. Okay. So we do have a reason to ignore going to war for a while, outside of that. Anyway, I can pick our cultural advances. Kind of like barracks. Might not be a bad idea, to be fair. Mustering grounds. They give man-at-arms regiments +2. Ooh. Plenary assemblies. We're going to finish in 4 months. We'll ignore that one. That's our fascination, right? That's from, not cultural fascination. What's the other term? Exposure. That's it. Yeah, I'm fine with this. Can we get longships? What do they do for us? Embarkation cost minus 75%. Naval speed up 20. Oh, wow. 25%. We got war face painting, too. I think we finished mustering grounds. This can take us 30 years. Yeah, good one. A daughter. Little baby Grignr's daughter. Oh, may you be strong and wise. Oh, that's so nice. I'm so glad we're finally getting something good going on here for once in this poor guy's life. Sound the horn. We've got exactly enough money to go on a hunt. I feel like that's a good sign. As my courtier Bowden and I crest a hill, we hear it. The snapping of twigs, the rustle of branches, birds screaming in fright. It's a heart heading straight for us, like a deer, not like a enormous beating heart. That would be very eldritch. It's Parthen's here with me. 78% chance we gain a hunting trophy for 10 years. That's quite nice. 0.5 prestige. Done. I slay the beast. Well done. If you could bring back some money from, you know... Alright, or don't. That's also fine. Bring back some money from like, oh, and the stress is back immediately. Shit. We got wounded instead of strengthened this year. God damn it. It's a difficult life, isn't it? I mean, this mod is pretty impressive. Ooh, we've discovered... Oh, right, of course, that was the exposure. It's kind of well-balanced. Almost a little unbalanced in favor of the game rather than the player. I feel like the amount of breaks that we go on because of all the strength training is kind of nuts. And even then, it doesn't really give that many massive bonuses. But it's a free bonus. That's the important thing, right? It's giving you options, and it's always good to overbalance and underbalance those. Ooh, an intruder. Every time I close my eyes, I see Governess Ulnalt's face. Sleep will not come. I cannot wait another moment. Cloaked in the shadows, I make my way to the gardens outside her living quarters. The sight of Ulnalt's chamber window makes my heart stutter. So close, and yet so far. But wait, who's that climbing up the tower? The shady figure stops by Ulnalt's window and unlatches the shutters. My beloved is in danger. I must save her. Of course. Either that or I'll shout for the guards, which you would never do. That's a bit sad. Or I did not come here to wrestle a burglar. Obviously. He's going to try and save his wife. Save her. Save your wife's lives. Sounds from the struggle above is the greatest motivator I've ever known. Without care for life or limb, I hoist myself through the governess's window. I feel as if I have plunged into a frozen lake. Ulnalt is on the floor, the intruder pushing her down, a gleaming blade between them. With a roar, I grab the villain. Oh, this is very Grignr, isn't it? I grab the villain by the collar and throw him into the wall. The rest is a blur. When the danger is over, I turn towards her. Ulnalt, are you all right? I ask cautiously. As if my words were a spell, she finally unfreezes. Thank kind you're here, Grignr. Bearing in mind this guy's too smart, as I've said before, to speak like a Grignr. He's far too intelligent. He's got 19 intrigue, for God's sake. I will never let you get in harm's way again. She becomes his soulmate. And you lay with Governess Ulnalt, right on top of the body of the murdered man. Or one sweet kiss is all I crave, my lady. No. They're soulmates. They had a difficult childhood together, but finally, as adults, I'm glad my man's getting a bit of happiness. I'm so glad. I feel like this poor guy's been through so goddamn much. It's so nice that we're finally bringing it back together. This guy really does feel like a return to form for the dynasty a bit. Again, he's not really the big, brutish warrior that Grignr the First was. But he's got a lot going for him, and I think he's going to work well for us. Let's drop the troops. Let them reinforce. See how much money we've got left to play around. We can have another band of housecarls. We've just got to make sure we've got the cash in the pocket. Right? Lash out. Let's do it. Let's lash out at people. Got to lose the stress, and we can also work off some more stress. Oh, shit. We're still stress level 1, though. It's Gilded Axe's daughter. Hello. Suggest that you wrestle. Oh, they become friends. This is nice. The dynasty isn't constantly at each other's throats anymore. I feel like this is really a return to strength for the Grignr dynasty. The slate was wiped clean. They became friends. That's so nice. We're going to call you... I think she deserves a nickname. She definitely deserves a nickname. Where's the rename button? Am I going mad? Here we are. You don't just deserve to be called Grignr Gilded Axe's daughter. That's a bit weird. We're going to call you Grignr Wrestle Friend. Yes. Grignr Wrestle Friend. This is a better name. Grignr Wrestle Friend, Grignr's Gilded Axe's daughter, Grignerson. It's quite nice. Now, what the hell are we going to call this guy? Has he done enough to earn a nickname yet? I honestly don't believe so. He hasn't really done anything yet. That's the thing. Maybe when he's 60, we could call him Grignr the Redeemer, Grignr the Unifier, Grignr the Ultimate. I think those are all names for Mandalore. You get what I mean, though. Like, we could, when he's older and a bit more venerable, maybe when he's actually achieved something, maybe then, if that's all he's done is just restore the dynasty to greatness, then he definitely deserves to be called it. But it's a bit early to say. Absolutely not. Let's wait for this kid to see what her first thing is before we educate her. We're going to be sensible about it now. And we're playing a sensible man with an actual brain. That brain may disappear as the Grigners come back to form. It's a cycle, you see. She's pregnant again. More babbies to be formed. I guess they finally did hold hands, huh? So, Torturer then. Divine Retribution. I like the idea of this character also being somewhat maybe more religious. It was clearly a part of his childhood, even though more like Bell hasn't said a damn thing since. Does clergy or piety or clergy opinion from torturing or executing others? Do we have anyone in the prisoner to torture / execute? We do. She was the one who drew the map. So I think we torture her. She loses 100 opinion of us. She gains recently tortured. That's fine, but nobody cares. We're going to Dark Insight of Prowess. Thank you. Through the tools of torture, this character has learned much about inflicting pain. Very good. Makes him a better commander, too. Sorry, it had to be done. It did have to be done. She's going to break down, and there's a chance of her becoming a lunatic. Let's leave her in there. Sod it. We can keep torturing her, right? Every few years. She's an elf. She's not going to die of old age. Not in a hurry, anyway. That's awful. What an awful life she's been condemned to there, huh? Right, so we're fully reinforced now. Oh. Hermaeus Miaura. I hear a quiet meow. My cat Meowbarian. They call him Hermaeus Miaura. I'm so sorry. I'm getting terribly confused with an alternate timeline. Meowbarian starts purring. I sit with him on my lap and listen to the calming sounds and petting his seal point fur. The cat has dropped his stress level for us. What a legendary little creature. Let's go and do some raiding to get enough money to get more housecarls to do more raiding, I think. No longer overwhelmed by stress. Let's do it. So, we can stick to the normal route again. Go further out this time. I guess we don't really have a choice to do it. How what about, like, Volkahar? It's all been bloody raided, hasn't it? I mean, there's a Volkahar here, I know, but I suppose we could... Oh, no, that's been raided. Maybe we should go for bigger targets. There's a stronger troop, don't forget. There's a stronger army now. Let's play it safe for a little bit, and then we'll upgrade them later on. We've got another daughter. Grignr's daughter. Welcome. May you grow strong and wise, of course. Overwhelmed by stress again. Still no more strength. That's unfortunate. Maybe Hermamora can help where Alduin failed. Convert to the cult of Hermaeus Mora, or a good workout. Hermaeus Mora will help me. He's really obsessed with Hermaeus Mora, isn't he? No. Do the workout. Do the workout. He's clearly questioning his religion. Is that enough to start pursuing that as a part of a character? Maybe not. Maybe not. No. Oh, it happened. Meowbarian is not as young as he once was, and he crawls into my lap. I can feel him trembling. I gently stroke his seal point fur and listen to him purr long into the night, but as silence falls, I know he won't wake again. You lose pet cat. And it doesn't stress him out, because that cat lived a long and happy life, and died happy. And is that not the best outcome possible for a lifelong companion? That's a lot of fucking people heading over here. Oh my god. They're not going to be able to get to... No! What the fuck? They were able to raise, embark, and get over to the island before we were able to just get off of it. Fucking hell. Stun can study intrigue. Oh, that gains some opinion. Yeah, go and guide the court priest. Well, that's bollocks. Well, there goes the whole army instantly. Ridiculous. Okay, well, let's not raid there then in the future. Oh. Wow, that's actually kind of insane that the whole army was crushed just like that. We've got to get that, Who's trying to kill us? Your guest. Scheming against my aunt, Grignr wrestle friend? No, never. Throw her in jail. Get her tortured. Let's find out her secrets. My prisoners. Here we are. The intrigue tab not having prisoners is going to throw me off for the rest of my life. Get her tortured. Oh, the sweet kiss of the whip. It might look innocent, but it can separate flesh from bones just as well as any knife. It had to be done, I'm afraid. Did we not get the dark insights from that one? I thought you could do it up to 5 times. Interesting. I'm not really sure. I thought it was every time you did it, you got... I'm not sure. Oh, God, we haven't got any good stewards. Grignr wrestle friend's son. And then you can go on the... Grignr Grignerson can be the first mate. And then the marshal can be that cold storm lady. I almost called her Corm Stole again. Very weird. Okay. Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed by that raid. I was kind of hoping for a bit more than that. But again, this is exactly why we should probably focus, maybe in hindsight, on... get out of the way a second. Maybe we go back to... Longships, was it? Emerald culture is not present in longboats. Why? Warface painting. I just don't know. I really wanted longships. I don't know why we can't get that anymore. How bizarre. It's just like disappeared. Oh, I was going to go for that one too, just so that we got the... Oh, it was naval speed, to be fair. So it wouldn't have really helped out that much. What's going on here? For days I've been obsessing how over the Ursulaku lineage. Now I'm certain there's no way that Snow Khan Unamaith can conclusively be the father of his son and heir, Sul Bareth. Where there's a lack of evidence, it can be planted. Why does he give a shit? All this dynastic history might be good for something else. For our own dynasty. Absolutely. Why would you care about Ursulaku's succession? They're not relevant to any of us. Oh, and there we go. Player F finally gets the first trait. And she's become bossy. She can become Marshal of Stewardship. Maybe she is the true return to Grignr. Maybe our character is just a stepping stone along the way. Let's pick her a good Guardian. Again, high learning. And we're looking for learning and Marshal, really, aren't we? 28 and 10. 23 and 14. I guess we would go for her, then. The first mate. Oh, no, she's not the first mate. She's just the Marshal. The first mate's the diplomacy character, isn't it? Done. Educate this child. Make her good. I think she's in for a... I think she's in good hands there. Man, we're going to have to stop this training. We're getting absolutely nothing beneficial out of it at all, are we? Horgir Fine Sword. He's a promising new recruit. Is he, though? He can go. You know what? I'm going to call it there. I think we're going to say no more training. It's just not helping, is it? It's not helping. It's just pushing the guy into an earlier and earlier grave. We're having to do everything we can to fight our way out of the stress level. We can keep it balanced. But all it takes is one thing to go wrong, and then none of our stress stuff is off of cooldown, and then one thing leads to another, and it just snowballs out of control, right? Because the more stress you've got, the more stressed you become. I don't think it's worth it. Can decrease county edicts. No. No, I won't be doing that. I like the money, thank you. Someone's got to pay for these Huskarls, because sure as hell not paying for themselves right now, are they? Right, yeah, I thought Dark Insights, 50% chance. I see. I thought it was just... Every time you talk to someone, you gain that up to a maximum of 5. Okay, fair enough. Sure, dreadful. Dreadful. Let the people know to fear him. He was going to drag the truth out one way or another. Ooh, I thought we'd take a quick break there to let the troops reinforce, and they're pretty much almost there. But Court Priest Narvilda has increased the fervor of Dragon Cult. Man, I can't wait to do something with that, but again, I don't think we've really had a good enough character to do it. Grignr Dragon Speaker was the one, but obviously that didn't really go well. Oh, additional taxes, thank you. We can buy more... Oh, it's 97. Okay, we've got to wait a little bit more, but we can almost buy more Housecarls. Then we can probably do some real damage. We can still afford the reinforced cast. Oh, to be fair, they are fully reinforced, so let's not get too much on that one. And there you go. Back down to stress level 1. Again, we could start the strength training whenever, again, if we want to. Let's at least get back down to 0. We are going to train with Grignr Wrestlefriend. Of course, that's what she's here for. Lash out. I want to get to the stage where he doesn't have to rely on that. Seems a bit weird, constantly screaming at the court all the time. Someone's gonna have him murdered, right? To my lumbering vassal, Steward of Windhold. Absolutely not. Get out of here. We were happy being. I was happy being her court's spymaster. I think that suits the guy, but Steward. The brooch, fit for governess and nulls. It's 50 gold, though. I'm sorry, we just simply cannot afford that. That's actually kind of nuts. Although... thriving in chaos? Maybe we embrace it, because he has kind of been thriving in the chaos. Try and play a high-stress character. Big risk, big reward, and maybe that big reward is what we need right now. Martial per stress level, we get 4 martial per level of stress, 4 intrigue per level of stress, and 6 prowess per level of stress. As long as we always keep lash out, work out, whatever, on cooldown when we're at the higher level, we can still do the strength training, still try and gain the muscles, and also gain a lot of bonuses out of that. He gets the brain and he gets the brawn. We've got to really earn it, though. We've got to really try and earn this. But my God, he could be the best Grignr we've ever had. Maybe. Let's raise the troops, then. So we've got a lot of housecarls this time. I do want to raid somewhere else. I just feel like where we're attacking right now is a bit pointless, isn't it? West Gash is enormous. I haven't really got any loot worth grabbing around there. House Redoran has some problems going on right now. We could potentially run in and grab some gold from here. While they're at war, I want to go for something a bit more vulnerable. The wilderness is calling out to me. It's been too long since I last hunted. Out there at the tundra of Grignr's Folly are powerful boars. Do you want a new hunting dog? Oh, you get a pet dog instead of a pet cat. Or do we get brand new spears? Prowess +3, monthly prestige. This is for 25 years. Or we get time to prepare, at which point our next hunt will not cost any gold drakes. I think the hunting tools. He's more of a cat guy. He's more of a cat man. I think he's proven that. Let's take the hunting tools then. A wild hare appears. Sorry, a wild hare? It's Borgassa.
My liege, I beg you for mercy. A wild hare has gotten into my place. Can someone take care of it?
Nah, let the hare kill her. Oh, it's a hare. What are you doing? Why are you scared of that? Hire someone to fetch me my sword. You slaughtered the monster. It's a hare. Am I misunderstanding? Is a hare in Elder Scrolls context something far more frightening? It's a big spooky rabbit. There's not even necessarily bigger than a regular rabbit. They're just a bit more lanky. Hire someone, fetch me my sword. He can kill a bloody hare. 350 prestige for that. That's really sad. And he gained Novice Hunter too, which does lower his stress down a bit more. Ooh, stress lost 10% specifically, so that way we can play high stress a little more safely. Let's do some raiding then. You're going to send those troops over here. Dangerous. Let's put a good buccaneer at the front. Yeah, okay. So if we put like someone much better. Chances are even... Yeah, this is still too much of a gamble, isn't it? Even though they're taking, what is that, a river crossing? Wonder if it counts. No, we're still going to get absolutely flattened. Fuck. Okay. Well, don't raid there then. Maybe don't always raid into Eastmarch. Oh, I'm sick of doing these safe raids. It's just like, go for Dawn Isle, go for the next one, go for the islands, everybody's safe. Maybe we should just go all the way back to Yakuta or something like that. If we just do another tour, come back with loads of gold. The army size isn't really big enough to justify it right now, but that at least worked and had a lot of prestige behind it too, didn't it? It was a good story. Anyway. Ooh, he's a good buccaneer. Riverwind Soldier, cautious leader. 32, what was that, advantage? Is that the right word? Yeah. Amazing. I mean, it's safe. I don't really want safe, though. I want something that's daring. Daring and fun. Anyway, let's go for the, 40 gold over here, though. They are making a lot of cash, though, aren't they? Harfingar, so they could raise a lot of troops. I don't think they will. They haven't before. Yeah, we should be safe. Oh, Borgassa died. Well, they had a complicated relationship, but he obviously didn't really care too much about it. We lost strength and we gained greatly strengthened. We lost greatly strengthened. We gained vastly strengthened. Did he just gain vastly strengthened in a single tick? Like something just in his mind. Something just happened. And he saw that he's seeing the secrets. He's up to 12 martial. Because of thriving in chaos, he's up to 22 intrigue as well. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, well, are we going to be able to get away in time? They are going to take all of this loot, aren't they? We're going to lose it all. Fuck. No. Gain the stress. Keep the stress piled on. We're going to lose every penny. Oh, God. We're just like, I just can't raid. I don't know what we had going on before, but... Well, there you go. That one at least worked. Was that we get some gold at least? That's fine. Beneficial deal for building Grignr's Folly. Yeah, whatever. Maybe numbers were the solution. Maybe they were. Maybe it's just everybody else is growing, of course, as strong as we are. It's kind of growing evenly. We've got to change the speed of maybe our investments a little bit. Maybe stop investing into the same bloody troops and maybe invest back into the cities. I don't know. I don't know how exactly the best way to go about this is, but honestly, I'm happy with the character, and that's all that really matters for the time being. It's a good story. We're going to wrap it up there for today, because I just noticed we've been going on for like 40 minutes now, so let's leave it there. It's going to be a slow going for a little while, because I think this character doesn't really have much to pull on currently, but I like the idea of a high-stress, high-risk, high-reward character. Again, brains and brawn. But that's what we need. I like this a lot.